So, two movies came out this December. One of them became my favorite movie of 2016, and the other one became my least favorite of 2016. The former being Rogue One, and the latter being Assassin's Creed. We're going to talk about Assassin's Creed first, since it was my least favorite, and I would warn you for spoilers, but who's going to go watch it? Because it's awful. I'm not going to give any facts on why these are good. I'm just going to, well, I might a little bit, but I'm going to talk mostly about how they're just small things here and there. Assassin's Creed was the worst because it was so boring. On a technical level, I suppose you could say that it was decent, but everyone just played cardboard. Everyone was a stick of cardboard. Everyone was just so boring. No one had any emotion. No one felt anything. No one did anything the whole movie, and it made no sense. The story flowed okay, like the first 2/3 of the movie, but near the end, it just made no sense. I cannot tell you what happened at the end. He decides that for some reason he has to go into the Animus on his own this time. And up until that point, his only motivation was to get revenge on his dad, who killed his mom, because he's an assassin. They never clarified why his dad killed his mom. He shows no emotion when doing this, except maybe a little bit of frustration. That's it. And he finds his dad, and he doesn't kill him. And he decides he's gonna destroy the assassins by going into the Animus and finding the apple. So they find the apple. I can't tell you what happened. I just cannot tell you how that movie went. So the woman protagonist person goes with her dad and gets the apple from someone's grave or something. They don't explain it at all. Then he randomly decides that he's gonna be an assassin anyway. He goes, oh, well, I wanted to destroy you guys, but now I've decided to join you guys. They find suits, and they go, and the daughter just lets them kill their dad, or her dad. Which he didn't even have to do. He didn't have to. He could have just knocked him out or something. He didn't have to kill him. And then she's upset about it. It makes no sense. And it ends on... like, it has no satisfying ending. It makes no sense. No one shows any emotion the whole time. The most emotion that was shown was when he goes crazy in the middle of it. And that's it. There's no emotion, there's no reason to like any of the characters. It just makes no sense. I would not recommend this movie. It was the worst movie I saw 2016. And first it was Suicide Squad. But that movie, I actually, despite it being a terrible movie and I didn't enjoy it, there were parts that I enjoyed. This was just one long, boring nothing. There was nothing to it. I had no reason to care about these people. They gave me no reason to. The characters didn't do anything of value the whole movie. There was just no emotion to it at all. I would not recommend it. So now we're going to talk about Rogue One and why that was my favorite movie of 2016. If you want to see Rogue One, I recommend you just leave right now because I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to talk about what happens in it. Stop watching the video here. I really recommend you see it. Rogue One became my favorite movie of 2016. It was infinitely better than The Force Awakens, in my opinion. There were parts that I didn't like, but overall it was as close to being as good as the original trilogy as you're gonna get. I'd say it was even better than Return of the Jedi. It was better than The Force Awakens because it wasn't just a copy of A New Hope. It told its own story, it had original characters, it did original things, and it just did things better than The Force Awakens did. One thing I was worried about two things. Back to Suicide Squad, I was worried that Darth Vader was going to be like the Joker was in Suicide Squad, and they're just going to show him in the commercials because they can, and put him in the movie for a little bit. And they kind of did that, but they won me back whenever the last scene is just the coolest Darth Vader scene I've seen so far. I'll describe the scene. They're trying to get the Death Star plans to the ship that appears in the beginning of A New Hope, and all the rebels are trying to get through, but the door is stuck, and everything goes quiet, and it turns to the end of the hallway, and it's dark. Then a red lightsaber lights up Darth Vader, and he just mows them down. He kills all of them without a second thought. And they're screaming and banging on the door, "Help us, help us!" And he's just slaughtering all of them, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was my favorite Darth Vader scene so far, at least in a while. And the other thing I was worried about was that the main character was gonna be another Mary Sue, like Rey was, because Rey was not a good character. I don't like Rey. She's too perfect at everything. She has no faults. And you could say the same about, I think her name was Jin, but I mean, she didn't have any, she was just kind of a normal person in this. She didn't, get in the Millennium Falcon and know how to fly it immediately. She actually needed help from her companions sometimes. She was overall a better all the characters were okay, and I'm gonna spoil it right here again. They killed all of them off. Every one of them died, and I was worried I wasn't gonna feel anything when they all died. I was really sad when they killed off the robot. I thought he was gonna be another BB-8, but they made him funny, and when they killed him, I actually was like, oh man, that was sad. They gave me a reason to care about these characters, and when all of them died, I really felt bad for them. Like the part where they kill the two main characters, Jin and the other guy that I don't remember his name. It was like you could see the blast from the Death Star, because in this the Death Star doesn't destroy any planets. It only destroys like parts of the planet. Like you could see the blast in the distance, and they're just sitting there waiting because they know that they can't escape it, and they just hug. I thought that was a really good scene. The only character I didn't really care about when they died was they killed the Jedi, or whatever he was. When they killed him, it's like as expected. And then his friend goes to help him, and I was like, here's the scene where he gets shot a few times and he goes down slowly but he goes down with a fight, and that's exactly what happened. And I was like, yeah. The rest of the characters were great though. Overall, it was a very solid movie. I had a lot of fun with it. They gave everyone personality, and there was a lot of characters. They set them up really well. They took their time. The only the only problem I had with the characters was that I don't remember a single one's name except for the robot. Was like they called him K for short, but he had a number. And the only other character I remember is Jin. I don't remember anyone else's names except for like Darth Vader, of course. Overall, solid movie. I highly recommend it. Go see it right now. Don't see Assassin's Creed. It's terrible. Go see Rogue One. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And see ya.